The wrong woman can destroy your mind faster than any drug. But the right one? She doesn't need to say a word. Her presence alone will demand you become a king. Men, listen to me carefully. If you don't understand the levels of a high-value woman, you will chase illusions, waste years, and trade your soul for validation that means nothing. Let me hit you with a truth so raw it'll burn your soul. The woman you're chasing might be the anchor drowning your potential. In the next few minutes, I'm going to rip apart the illusion of the perfect woman and show you the 10 levels of a high-value woman. Because knowing this will either save you or destroy you. Buckle up, because this isn't a fairy tale. This is war. Level 1, the Mirage. She's the Instagram siren. Flawless filters, lips like fire, curves for days, and a smile that promises paradise. She knows exactly how to look at the camera to make you feel like she wants you. But here's what you don't see. She doesn't want you. She wants your attention. That's her drug, and you just her next fix. You see her, your heart races, your brain shuts off, your instincts scream, chase. And just like that, you become another follower in her digital harem. Let me tell you about Mike, a real guy I knew. Smart, driven, ambitious. But he saw her one day on Instagram, the classic level 1 Mirage. She had a bikini pic with a caption that said, "Wish you were here." Mike thought it was for him. He started demanding her, replying to every story, liking every post within 10 seconds. Then came the flowers, the Amazon gifts. He even paid for a spa voucher she never used. She replied once, "Ah, you're so sweet." Then nothing. 6 months of his life gone. Energy, emotion, and money gone. What did she give in return? Thank you, followed by silence. She was never interested. She was just feeding off his validation like a vampire in heels. Here's the psychological trap. Men are hardwired to pursue beauty. It triggers the reward center in your brain. But studies show men routinely overestimate a woman's interest when she's physically attractive. Why? Because your brain confuses beauty for value. But value without virtue is vanity. Let me hit you with the dark truth. Her value is manufactured. Her beauty is edited. Her personality is copied. Her worth, built on digital likes and male thirst. She's not a real connection. She's an algorithm in human form. And if you fall for her without depth, without principle, without self-worth, you're not falling in love. You're falling into a trap. She's not your prize. She's your prison. And the only way to escape is to evolve. Because a real man doesn't chase illusions. He builds a life so strong, illusions get blinded by his reality. Level 2, the taker. She's got charm, maybe even a sweet voice, a soft smile, and just enough vulnerability to make you drop your guard. She's not loud. She doesn't flash red flags. Instead, she whispers them, wrapped in compliments, kisses, and "I just need you right now." At first, she makes you feel like her hero, but slowly, silently, she starts draining you. Your time, your energy, your money, your mind, gone. Not all at once. That would be too obvious. She takes in installments while you think it's love. And here's the trap. She cries about her past, leans on your shoulder, says you get her like no one else. But when life punches you in the mouth, crickets. No support, no empathy, just silence or complaints. Let me tell you about Alex, one of the most loyal men I've known. He fell for a level 2. She was cute, kind, and had just enough emotional damage to trigger his savior complex. He paid her rent for 7 months, drove her to work every day, bought her groceries, took her mom to appointments, even helped her brother find a job. Then one day, life flipped on him. Alex lost his job. What did she say? Not, "I've got your back." Not, "We'll get through this." She said, "I can't deal with your problems right now. This is too much." A week later, she blocked him, moved on, told people he was the unstable one. Let's break the psychology down. Takers exploit your protector instinct, hardwired into every masculine man. They know you want to solve problems. They know you want to be the rock. So they pretend to be fragile, just enough to keep you hooked. But it's not love. It's leeching. Truth bomb. A woman who only takes is not wounded. She's strategic. She's not a victim. She's a silent predator. She doesn't want a man. She wants a wallet with emotions. She doesn't love you. She loves what you do for her. And the longer you tolerate it, the more of yourself you lose. Piece by piece, until there's nothing left but a broken man wondering why she never stayed. Bro, a woman who only takes is not your partner. She's a parasite, and the cure is not more giving. The cure is walking away before she consumes your soul. Level 3, the roller coaster. She's wild, magnetic, addictive. She walks into your life like a storm, and for a second, you love the chaos. She laughs louder, kisses harder, fights dirtier. You think it's passion, but it's poison dressed in lipstick. One day, she's blowing up your phone with "I miss you" face blowing a kiss. The next day, you don't hear from her for 3 straight days. She posts a story with some other dude and captions it, "Good vibes only." And you're sitting there, heart racing, head spinning, wondering what the hell just happened. This is the drug, my brother. She knows what she's doing. This is intermittent reinforcement, one of the most powerful psychological hooks known to man. It's the same system casinos use to keep you on the slot machine. Not knowing when you'll win makes you chase harder. Every time she pulls away, your brain goes into withdrawal. Every time she comes back, your dopamine spikes. You feel alive again. It's not love, it's chemical warfare. I fell for a level 3 once. Let me be real with you. She had fire in her eyes and danger in her smile. Every time she touched me, I felt like the world disappeared. But so did she again and again. She'd flirt with other guys right in front of me. And when I confronted her, she'd cry like a victim and say, "I didn't mean it. I just wanted attention." And that's when I realized she wasn't confused. She wasn't hurt. She was in control. This is dark psychology in motion. She's hacking your dopamine reward loop like a tech-savvy thief. She gives you just enough warmth to keep you hooked, then yanks it away to keep you chasing. And the sick part? You mistake the chaos for chemistry. You think the highs mean love, but it's just relief from the pain she created. That's not romance. That's emotional addiction. Here's the truth bomb. A level 3 woman doesn't want peace. She thrives on emotional volatility because it gives her power. The more uncertain you are, the more control she has. And if you stay, she will drain your confidence, shatter your self-worth, and make you think you're the crazy one. Bro, the roller coaster always ends the same way. You broke, confused, emotionally exhausted, and she, already riding the next one. A high-value man doesn't live in chaos. He builds clarity, control, and peace, and he never chases a storm disguised as a soulmate. Level 4, the placeholder. She's nice. She's safe. She doesn't cheat, doesn't yell, doesn't walk out. She listens when you talk. She texts back on time. She even remembers your birthday. But here's the problem. There's no fire, no hunger, no pull that makes you feel like a king. Just comfort, just routine, just existing. She's the girl you settle for when you're tired of being hurt, tired of the games, tired of the silence and betrayal. So you convince yourself, at least she's not toxic. And that's how you die. Not in a car crash, not in a fight, but in a quiet, slow emotional death where you stare at the ceiling at 2 a.m. and ask yourself, is this really it? Let me tell you about Tom. He was the man who played it safe. He married a level 4. Why? Because she was available. Because she said yes when others said no. Because she offered peace when he was too broken to ask for passion. Fast forward 10 years. 2 kids. White picket fence. He smiles in pictures. But behind that smile, emptiness. He confessed to me once. Every time I see a confident woman walk past me, I wonder what my life could have been. That's the soul of a man haunted by his own cowardice. Here's the dark truth. Level 4s don't destroy you like the roller coaster or the taker. They do something worse. They numb you. They put you to sleep emotionally. They wrap your ambition in a warm blanket of mediocrity. They never challenge you to grow, to rise, to become more. And men settle for them, not out of love, but out of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of starting over. Fear of going back into the cold after finally finding a little warmth. But here's what you forget. Comfort is the killer of kings. You are not born to settle. You are not built to coast. You were built to conquer. You don't build legacy with someone who keeps you comfortable. You build it with someone who makes you come alive. Don't trade your soul for safety. Because one day, when you're old and gray, you won't remember how nice she was. You'll remember how dead you felt inside. Bro, the placeholder isn't evil. She's just not your destiny. And if you stay too long, you'll start to forget that you ever had one. Level 5, the spark. Now we're getting somewhere. She's got drive. She's got ambition. She doesn't just post selfies and wait for validation. She's building something. She's in school, starting a business, climbing a career, maybe even working on herself. She's got fire, and fire is attractive. You feel in her voice when she talks about her goals. You feel in her eyes when she looks at you like a man, not just a meal ticket. And for a moment, you think you've made it. You think this is the one. But here's the twist. She's not done becoming who she is. She's still in motion, still figuring herself out. One day, she's deeply supportive, texting you motivation, cheering your wins. The next day, she ghosts you, says she's in a weird place, or just doesn't feel like talking. She's not toxic, she's inconsistent. And that's a whole different kind of danger. Because as a man, you're wired for stability. Not control, but certainty. And level 5 messes with that. Psychological fact. Inconsistent behavior from a partner triggers the same part of your brain that lights up during threat detection. It's why your gut twists when she goes from hot to cold. Your mind says, it's fine. But your instincts are screaming. Something's off. Let me tell you a story about Marcus. Smart guy. Gym rat. Hardworking. He met a level 5, ambitious, passionate, talked about healing and hustling. She was amazing for 2 months. They shared books, meditated together. She cooked for him. But then the cracks appeared. One week, she was all in. The next, she needed space. She started posting cryptic quotes about finding herself, while texting him, "You're the only one who gets me." Bro was lost in limbo, not knowing if he should invest more or pull back, not knowing if he was building with her or being dragged into her storm. Potential is seductive and dangerous, because when a woman shows you just enough greatness, your brain fills in the gaps. You imagine the future with her, not the present reality. You ignore the red flags because you see the green lights of what could be. But hope is not a strategy. You're not a therapist. You're not a healing project. You're a man building an empire. And empires need stability. A level 5 woman might evolve into a queen, or she might spiral into chaos. You're not wrong for being attracted to her fire. But don't get burned trying to warm someone who hasn't learned how to control their own flame. Choose wisely, because the spark can either ignite your kingdom or burn it to ash. Level 6, the partner. Now we're entering rare territory. She's not chasing clout. She's not draining you emotionally. She's building with you. She's got your back when you're broke, not just when you're bawling. She's loyal, supportive, grounded. She doesn't play games. She plays life with you, side by side. She'll celebrate your wins louder than anyone. But she'll also call you out when you're slipping. Not to shame you, but to remind you who you are. Let me tell you about James. Dude spent years in the trenches chasing mirages, surviving roller coasters. You know the type. Always picking the hottest girl in the room, always left broken in the end. But then he met her. Not the loudest girl in the room, not the one with the most likes, but the one who saw him, really saw him. She listened to his dreams. Not just nodded, helped. She stayed up late helping him design his first business plan. Worked a second job while he got his brand off the ground. Pushed him when he wanted to quit. And when he finally made it, she didn't ask for a prize. She just said, "Told you so." That, my brother, is a level 6, a partner. Not a passenger. Not a parasite. A woman who wants to build the castle, not just live in it. But don't get it twisted. Even level 6 can go wrong. Here's the dark psychology no one tells you. Loyalty means nothing if your values don't match. You want freedom. She wants tradition. You want kids later. She wants them now. You want to travel the world. She wants a white picket fence. That's not love. That's a slow-burning war. Because when your visions don't align, the love turns into pressure. The partnership becomes a prison. And the person who once felt like home starts to feel like obligation. So many men marry level 6S and still end up miserable. Not because she was bad, but because they were building different blueprints. You can't force two lives into one path when the maps are pointing opposite directions. Alignment is the key. Same goals, same mindset, same values. A level 6 woman who aligns with your mission, she's not just a partner. She's your secret weapon. But if the foundation isn't right, even the strongest castle will collapse. Here's the final truth bomb. Partnership without alignment is like a race car with the wheels pointed different directions. You might be powerful, but you're going nowhere. Level 7, the queen. You don't meet a level 7. You earn her. She's rare, like a diamond buried deep in pressure and time. She's not loud, not thirsty. She doesn't need to prove anything, because she knows who she is. She walks into a room and energy shifts, not because she's half naked or chasing validation, but because she radiates presence. She's confident, not cocky. Beautiful, but not obsessed with being seen. Powerful, but doesn't need to dominate. She's got her own life, career, purpose, mission. She doesn't orbit around you. She orbits her own sun. But she'll invite you into her universe if you're worthy. Let me tell you the truth. She doesn't need you. She wants you. And that's where the power is. Because when a woman chooses you from want, not need, you are no longer her provider. You are her partner in power. I met a level 7 once. She was a lawyer, sharp as a blade, composed like royalty. She could debate you into the ground and still kiss you with grace. She didn't chase, didn't beg, didn't cling. But if you earned her time, she gave it fully. She didn't let me get away with my laziness. She called me out. She said, "You talk about potential, but potential means nothing if you don't move." And I moved. Why? Because when a queen respects you, it activates your inner king. It pulls out the version of you that you've buried under fear, comfort, and distraction. Men thrive beside women who respect themselves, because we're wired to rise in the presence of high standards. Low-value women lower the bar. A queen? She raises it and dares you to reach it. But here's the catch. A queen demands a king. And if you're not ready, if you're still chasing attention, still lying to yourself, still playing small, she'll walk silently. No drama, no second chances. Because she's not afraid to be alone. She's only afraid of wasting time. And here's the dark truth most men avoid. A queen will expose your weakness, not maliciously, but naturally. Her strength is a mirror. And if you're not built yet, you'll mistake her standards for judgment. You'll feel intimidated instead of inspired. You'll say she's too much, when the truth is, you're not enough yet. Let that hit. Because this is your moment of choice. You can run back to the roller coasters, back to the mirages, back to the girls who let you stay average. Or you can rise. You can build. You can become the man worthy of a queen. Final truth bomb. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. If you want a level 7, you have to become level 7. Level 8, the visionary. This woman doesn't just live life. She builds it. She's not scrolling through trends. She's setting them. She doesn't follow crowds. She creates movements. A level 8 woman sees the world through a different lens. She's not thinking about Friday night. She's thinking about the next 5 years. The next big idea. The legacy she'll leave behind. And if you're lucky enough to meet her, she won't just support your goals. She'll stretch them. She'll challenge you to think bigger, deeper, smarter. You say, "I want to make money." She says, "Why not build something that changes the world?" You say, "I just want peace." She says, "Peace is earned through purpose." Let me drop a real-world example. Elon Musk's ex-wife, Justine Musk, a novelist. She wasn't just his partner. She was a mind of her own. She once said, "Elon was the alpha in our relationship, but I was never just his shadow." She had her own mission, her own voice, and she didn't dim it for anyone, not even for one of the world's most powerful men. Visionary women operate in masculine spaces, creation, ambition, legacy. And if you're not grounded in your own masculine core, you'll feel threatened by her. Her power won't inspire you. It'll expose you. Dark truth. Most men can't handle a level 8. They say they want an independent woman until she actually thinks independently, until she disagrees with your plan, not to attack, but to elevate. And suddenly your ego gets fragile. You start pulling back, trying to control, trying to dim her fire. Because deep down, you're afraid she'll outgrow you. Let me be clear. A visionary woman is not your fan. She's your equal force. She won't babysit your insecurities. She'll expect you to carry your own crown, while she carries hers. But here's the beautiful twist. If you are secure in your path, if your vision is strong, if you don't need to compete with her, but build beside her, you will create an empire. Not just a life, not just a house, a legacy. Because a level 8 doesn't want a throne. She wants a kingdom, and a king who's not scared of power, but knows how to wield it together. If her vision blinds you, it's not her light that's the problem. It's your fear of being seen. So ask yourself, Are you building a future strong enough to handle a woman with one of her own? Or are you still searching for girls who won't challenge your comfort? Your next level starts where your ego ends. Level 9. The Muse. She doesn't walk into your life. She erupts into it. A level 9 is a force of nature. She doesn't just inspire you. She transforms you. She doesn't say, "Go chase your dreams." She looks you dead in the eyes and asks, "Why the hell haven't you?" When you're around her, everything feels electric. You speak differently. Think sharper. Dream louder. She awakens something primal in you. The warrior, the poet, the visionary all at once. She's not just a woman. She's an invitation to become more. Think about Cleopatra. She didn't just seduce Caesar and Mark Antony. She elevated them. She turned powerful men into legends. Think of Yoko Ono. Love her or hate her, John Lennon shifted his entire creative identity around her presence. She didn't just love the man. She reshaped the artist. Men are driven by purpose. And a muse? She doesn't just support that purpose. She magnifies it. She locks eyes with your soul and says, "I see the fire, now burn." But here's the warning. The same fire that fuels you can consume you. If you're not grounded, if you don't know who you are, you'll lose yourself in her storm. Because a muse is not here to complete you. She's here to amplify you. And if your identity is fragile, you'll confuse inspiration with dependence. You'll start making your moves for her, not for you. You'll shape your path around her desires. And when she shifts, because she will, your world collapses. Dark psychology alert. A muse knows her power. She knows how to unlock your emotions, your genius, your madness. And if she's not conscious, she'll tap that power for herself, leaving you raw, obsessed, addicted. I saw this happen to a man once. He met a muse. His art soared, his body transformed, his confidence exploded. But he stopped sleeping, stopped thinking, stopped leading. He gave her his soul, and she didn't even ask for it. She left, and he was hollow, because he had built a cathedral of self-worth on the sand of her approval. Let this be your wake-up call. A muse is a mirror. She'll reflect your greatest self, or your darkest void. So if you're not grounded in who you are, her love will feel like ecstasy, but her absence, it'll feel like withdrawal. A muse doesn't make you a man. She reveals whether you already are one. So here's your mission. Meet her. Let her light ignite you. But never, ever forget, you were fire before she arrived. Level 10, the legend. She's the unicorn, a myth to most men, because she's not just a woman. She's a legacy. A level 10 doesn't just exist. She transcends. She's the perfect storm of everything you've ever wanted. The beauty of a mirage, the loyalty of a partner, the fire of a visionary, the soul of a muse. She's rare. So rare, in fact, that most men will never even meet her. And here's the brutal truth that most of you aren't ready to hear. You don't deserve a level 10 unless you're a level 10 man. The woman you attract will always mirror the man you are. If you're chasing mirages, takers, or rollers, it's because you haven't built yourself into a king yet. A level 10 woman doesn't need you. She chooses you because she sees your value. And that's where most men get lost. They want the high-value woman, but they're still living like boys, still chasing attention, still distracted by the cheap thrill of validation. Let me break it down. A level 10 woman isn't impressed by your money. She's not impressed by your looks. She's not impressed by your followers. What she's impressed by is who you are when the world is quiet, what you create when no one's watching, how you show up when it's hard. A level 10 will choose a man who is worthy, not just available. She'll look at you, and she won't see what you have. She'll see what you are. I'm telling you, most men will never meet a level 10 because they're still stuck chasing levels 1 through 4, settling for cheap distractions, shallow promises. But the truth is this. A level 10 isn't a prize to be won. She's the result of who you become. And if you're still wasting time, letting yourself be distracted, still playing games, still avoiding the work of becoming the best version of yourself, then don't expect a level 10 woman to fall into your lap. She won't, because she's not chasing validation. She's already living her own legend. The woman you deserve is the mirror reflection of the man you're willing to become. So step up. The world doesn't wait for you, and neither will she. This is the final level, the final reality check. The legend is not a fantasy. She's a challenge. She's the woman who will make you earn everything. and only the man who's worthy will find her. Now, the question is, are you ready to stop chasing ghosts? Are you ready to build yourself into the man who deserves a legend? Men, let me drop a truth on you that the world doesn't want you to hear, but I will. The woman you choose will either elevate you or destroy you. That's right. She will either bring out your greatness or expose your weakness. Stop chasing illusions. Stop running after false fantasies and settling for less than you deserve. Every level of woman I've described to you is a reflection of where you're at in your own journey. The choices you make, the work you put in, the man you're becoming. Want a queen? Then you better be a king. A king who holds his ground, who commands respect, who doesn't just sit around waiting for a woman to validate him. Want a legend? Then you need to become a legend yourself. You have to stop thinking small. Stop playing it safe. Stop living in a cage of comfort and mediocrity. Here's the raw truth. The game isn't about finding the perfect woman. It's about becoming the man who deserves her. So here's your challenge, your call to action. Look in the mirror tonight. Look at the reflection of the man you are right now. Ask yourself, what level am I playing at? What level am I truly at? If you're not where you want to be, if you're still weak, still lost, still hiding behind excuses, then stop whining. Stop scrolling. Stop simping. Get up. Grind. Build yourself into the man who commands respect. Build yourself into the man who doesn't just attract greatness, but is worthy of it. Because the truth is, brothers, the woman of your dreams isn't out there waiting. She's watching. She's watching to see if you're worthy of her time, if you can step up, if you can rise to the challenge. And if you're not ready yet, then let her go. She's not yours to claim. Don't let her down. Don't let yourself down. Because the world doesn't wait for the weak. It doesn't wait for the unprepared. It doesn't wait for the unfocused. So start now. The clock is ticking. And when you finally become the man who deserves her, you'll know it. You won't need validation. Because the respect will be earned. The love will be real. And you'll have your legend. Most of you are stuck at level 1 or 2. Chasing beauty. Tolerating disrespect. Confusing chaos with love. But let me hit you with a hard truth. One that will sting but set you free. You attract what you are. You think you deserve a high-value woman? Then ask yourself, are you a high-value man? You're out there chasing her attention, but are you the type of man who commands her respect, admiration, and loyalty? Or are you just another guy caught in her whirlwind, offering validation but nothing of substance in return? You want a high-value woman? Then become the man who earns her presence. Through discipline, through purpose, through power. A man who doesn't need a woman to validate his existence, because his purpose is clear, his vision unshakable. Not every woman deserves access to your mind. Not every woman is worthy of sharing your vision, your time, your energy. And if you don't level up, you'll keep chasing superficial beauty, emotional chaos, and shallow attraction. And you'll settle down in hell. Because, brothers, mediocrity is the real trap. It will destroy you silently, slowly, until you wake up one day and realize you've wasted years of your life on women who only drained you, who only used you as an emotional outlet or a source of validation. Your future family, your destiny, your empire. It all depends on one thing. The woman you allow by your side. She will either be your greatest asset or your biggest liability. Start choosing based on value, not validation. You're not just dating her. You're choosing your fate. Are you choosing someone who will walk beside you as you rise? Or someone who will hold you back while she thrives off the scraps you give her? Here's the reality. If you're not building yourself into the man who's worthy of the woman you want, then don't be surprised when you attract the level 1 or level 2 woman who only takes from you, who only drags you in her chaos. Protect your mission. Elevate your standards. You don't need just any woman in your life. You need the right one. The woman who will not complete your life, but multiply it. The one who will challenge you, inspire you, and push you to be the best version of yourself. She will be the one who stands by you, not behind you, sharing your vision, your purpose, and your greatness. And remember, you don't deserve her until you become the man who does.